Thanks for watching Community Update for Friday, June 19th. I'm Steve Erickson. Another step forward this week for a big housing project still taking shape in Port Riverwalk. On Tuesday night, the City Council approved a development agreement with Centra North for Port Riverwalk 2nd Edition, which calls for 42 more detached townhomes along Coon Rapids Boulevard between Avocet Street and Egret Boulevard. The council approved a final plat and development agreement for the 1st edition back in November. In all, 136 detached townhomes will be constructed on the site. Up to 2 more phases will be needed to complete the project. Not far from the housing development, a major coffee retailer is looking to set up shop. CARIBOU wants to open a small format store known as a coffee cabin on the southwest corner of Egret and Coon Rapids Boulevards. The building would be 600 square feet with a drive-through, a walk-up window, and an outdoor seating area. The land is currently owned by the city's Housing and Redevelopment Authority. With the necessary approvals, construction could begin as soon as this fall. An undisclosed grocer is looking to open a large store in the Riverdale area. The proposal was pitched to the City Council in a work session last week. The proposed development would take place on land currently owned by Federal Cartridge on the southwest corner of Highway 10 and Round Lake Boulevard. The store would be a new retailer in the region of approximately 40,000 square feet. The city's comprehensive plan and zoning would need to be changed for the project to move forward. The grocery tenant would also need to secure an off-sale liquor license from the city. Students at Coon Rapids High School have lived through construction before, and now Phase 2 is underway. CTN's Jennifer Anderson takes a look at the next round of changes thanks to the Fit for the Future referendum voters approved in 2017.
I think it's going to be first and foremost super exciting for our students.
The impressive new entrance at Coon Rapids High School was the beginning. A second phase of construction will create a corridor of new space from the front entryway through to the south side of the building. It includes a second entrance similar to the first, though smaller, a new choir room, and a new fitness area.
Yeah, so the fitness center will be here.
Greg Cole, Anoka Hennepin's chief operations officer, says the fitness center will be at least double the size of the current weight room with a focus on wellness, and it's designed for modern learning. All of the new spaces are intended to be forward-thinking.
Just creating bigger spaces for our students, but also 21st century spaces, 21st century learning environments, which have a lot more movement and collaboration, and to be honest with you, it's a little bit more of a post-secondary type feel.
Safety is improved as well. The 2 entrances and connecting corridor include a new security vestibule, and the design allows different sections of the building to be sealed off depending on the activity. Meanwhile, the school's biomedical science program will receive a new super lab similar to this, but bigger and even better equipped.
It's important to us that our Coon Rapids students feel pride in their building, and they have something that they can look at every day and be a part of every day that is really classy.
The secondary entrance will be built behind me here on the south side of the building. Construction will continue through the school year and is expected to wrap up at the end of next summer in August 2021. Reporting for Community Update, I'm Jennifer Anderson.
About 15 existing classrooms will also receive a facelift and ventilation improvements. The total project cost is around $12.5 million. The Anoka Hennepin School District is launching a new series of podcasts for parents. The Parent Engage 360 podcast series will cover a wide range of topics, including mental health, chemical health, internet safety, and more. District staff and state experts will weigh in on the topics. The podcasts, which will be released monthly, are currently available on Podbean and will soon be available at other podcast sources. Some good news this week for students who attend Minnesota State colleges and universities. On Wednesday, the Minnesota State Board of Trustees voted to freeze undergraduate tuition for the fall semester instead of a planned 3% increase due to the COVID-19 and the uncertainty surrounding classes this fall. However, tuition will increase 3% next spring. For the 2019-2020 school year, full-time students at Anoka Ramsey Community College paid nearly $5,200 for tuition and fees, while students at Anoka Tech paid more than $5,700. With temps in the 90s this week, the beach was the place to be. On Wednesday afternoon, we found dozens of people enjoying some fun in the sun at Crooked Lake. Due to COVID-19, options are limited this summer with the closure of some water parks, including Bunker Beach. Crooked Lake does not have lifeguards on duty, so swimming and wading is at your own risk, and everyone is asked to practice social distancing in local parks. One other note to pass along regarding picnic shelters. Starting June 29th, the picnic shelters at Crooked Lake Park and Riverview Park will be available for rental. To reserve and pay for a picnic shelter, just log on to the city's website at coonrapidsmn.gov. Police work in Coon Rapids is getting a lift thanks to the department's latest tool. The city bought an unmanned aircraft system, or what's more commonly known as a drone, to help with police work. CTN's Steve Antis has the story.
Anytime that the UAS is flying, you're going to see two officers with it. One we actually call the pilot, and the other is what we call the visual observer.
This quadcopter may look like a toy, but with its onboard camera, can help officers quickly cover more ground in less time.
For example, this morning, myself and Detective Durrett were in the city of St. Francis assisting them looking for a party with warrants.
Coon Rapids police detectives Adam Jacobson, Dan Durrett, and Justin Havorka are all FAA certified drone pilots.
So we're authorized to fly it at 400 feet, which is the highest the FAA allows us to fly.
They also got a waiver from the FAA to fly at night.
So we have the ability to see in both visible light as well as in infrared light.
As for the drone's stylish logo, the police reached out for help from the Industrial Arts Department at the high school.
Mr. Stork of the Coon Rapids High School, he recommended Peyton and Jack to me. They came, they sat down in my office, they kind of said, well, what are you looking for? I gave them kind of a blank canvas and said, see what you can come up with.
Each one of these is a different layer.
Together, Peyton Martinick and Jack Bornes produced the logo with the skills they learned using Photoshop.
It was a really fun project to do. Photoshop was really fun, and doing this gave me a chance to use that skill better.
It was a really cool opportunity to work with the police and use our skills to do this project.
The officers were impressed with how it turned out.
When it flies, you can see the battery pack. You'll see right on there Cardinal 1, you'll see Jack and Peyton's design.
From Crooked Lake Park, Steve Antis reporting for Community Update.
Jack and Peyton submitted their final design just before the COVID-19 pandemic shut down schools. They each received thank you certificates from the police department while in quarantine. A welcome sight this week at Bunker Hills. KENDALL'S Tavern and CHOPHOUSE has reopened for takeout and patio service. On Wednesday, we found several folks enjoying lunch out on the patio. The Tavern menu is available daily from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., while the CHOPHOUSE menu is available from 4 to 8 p.m. No date has been set for when indoor dining at KENDALL'S will resume. High school seniors hit the links at Bunker Hills last week for a two-day golf showcase. The boys played Tuesday while the girls played on Wednesday. The showcase was held in lieu of the annual Class 3A state championship, which normally takes place each June at Bunker Hills. Despite losing their season, the seniors were grateful to be back on the course, even for a day. The event was organized by the Minnesota PGA Junior Golf. The 3M Open returns to Blaine next month, but due to the pandemic, fans won't be allowed at the tournament. Tournament officials who made the announcement on Monday say the decision was made in accordance with current Minnesota guidelines, which limit crowd sizes due to COVID-19. After a 3-month hiatus, the PGA Tour resumed play last week in Texas without spectators. Tickets purchased for the 3M Open via Ticketmaster will be refunded in the next 30 days. The tournament, which runs July 23rd through the 26th, will still be televised on CBS and the Golf Channel. We also learned this week that this year's Coon Rapids Love My Pet Fair has been canceled. The annual event, which takes place in September, is a fun day for pet owners and their four-legged companions. But a survey showed that many vendors didn't want to participate in this year's event due to the ongoing pandemic and an anticipated decrease in attendance. But the good news there, they are planning to resume the pet fair in 2021. All right, that's going to bring us to the end of today's show. Thanks for watching. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there, and we'll see you back here again next week.